points definitely matter. And with the black pieces, of course, if we're able to get a win, that'll be 4 points there, depending on what Magnus is going to do here. And there we go. We're off.
We go. Magnus has the white pieces, opens with the queen's pawn. On board number 2, we have Nodirbek and Pragnananda. But let's first look at the moves on the top board. Is it going to be like, oh, he plays the same opening that Anish played against him?
Of course, this is what he plays. This is what he likes to play. He loves to play that Catalan Open. And here, as we know, even in Game 6 of the World Championship versus Jan Pamiachi, he was able to secure, obviously, that win. And this is his opening. We know Magnus for playing this Catalan Open quite well.
Right, and right now he's thinking whether to block with the bishop or with the knight. Anish seems to have caught him a little bit off guard there, or Magnus just trying to think about all his lines that he's prepared over the years.
Definitely, of course, this is a very topical line here, as you can fight for an edge here. It depends on what white wants to do. He plays with the bishop d2 line. You can see bishop d2 or knight d2. Both moves here. Bishop e7, and now maybe a close type of Catalan, which is going to happen with the black playing move. Be ready. They're trying to play as much as they can here. I want to see this board and see what's going on here with this Catalan.
Yeah, this one is going to be very important one. If Anish manages to neutralize this, that would be a huge thing for the PPG Alaskan Knights. And
good game. Bishop d6, nice. e5 break.
Oh, he's trying to break in the center. He's saying essentially to Magnus is that you have a nice center, but your pieces are a bit clumsily placed, and I want to break it open.
Good word. In fact, though, that's a great word. Clumsy here. The pieces on the back right look kind of weird and not coordinated. They don't work well together right now. But I mean, you can easily develop, which he does. Knight to d2, maybe going e4 himself. These positions are, Catalan has a reputation of being very solid and positional, but it also can be very aggressive. And even pawn e4 right now. You can even imagine pawn e4 happening right now anyway, just because it looks cool. Just because it looks cool. It doesn't mean it's great, but it just looks great.
This looks cool. Interesting.
It's a lot of tension.
But Magnus says, let me just take the pawn in the center.
Capture first.
Yeah. And I guess Anish will take it back with the pawn. Yes, he does. And Magnus chops off the other pawn, leaving Anish with a weak pawn which is isolated and alone. The reason it's alone is because it has no pawns on the adjoining file.
And this is what Magnus thrives in these type of positions. He loves to trade the pieces off and just say, I have a target, clear target. I'm going to do the same thing here. This pawn on d5 is a target for literally the rest of the game. We have the same amount of pieces. Our pawn structure is different, and your pawn on d5 is a target for the rest of the game.
This is a nightmare against Magnus Carlsen, James.
Nightmare with a K there from the BBG Alaskan Knights as well. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you have a small weakness here. Magnus is an amazing positional player. He loves to grind. Most of the times when I'm commentating, I use this term. He draws water from stone. That's the way he plays here. And I think this is the position that he loves.
He loves these. He loves these type of positions here. Of course, I can just grind this into the dust here. C to D1 at some point. Attack the pawn. My knight can go in front of the pawn. In fact, they say the best place, unless he plays it actually for C1. It's pressure on the pawn. Easy move. Bishop e6 probably will defend and develop. He plays it as well. Knight to d4 could be played, and he plays that as well. Knight d4.
Look at the time.
that's crazy. We got to go back and take a look at what happened.
If it was planned by Anish, because he could have moved his queen away somewhere here, far, far away.
Yeah.
But he went here, and Magnus says, "Thank you so much for that pawn." Takes, check, king here, but the engines do not like this situation, and I don't know who's misevaluated it, who's missed something, but I think both the players right now must be a bit confused.
Yeah, this is a crazy position here. I mean, this could go either way here, but this is something that you kind of want. I mean, even in the Magnus and Hikaru game yesterday, which is probably the game of the whole tournament there, which was so many tactics, and it was just almost a perfect game for both sides when it came to like tactics and entertainment, what was going on. Crazy matchup there, but this is very similar to Queen Sacrifice, and lots of precision involved. G4 does defend the H5 pawn, so I can now move my queen away somewhere.
That's his plan, and look at Anish's move. He moves his king downwards. He's like, I like my position. I like my bishop here, very stable. The rook is also stable. The other rook is active. So I'm happy.
Right. I am happy here. Now I have to figure out what I want to do with my pieces as white. It's really hard to break through, which he goes with queen d8 check. King h7, maybe. Oh, he's bringing the rook back. Bring the rook back.
Okay.
Comes the queen. Where are we going? He says, oh man, that stopped a little bit too short. I thought I would have stopped on d5. I was going to throw this microphone. So, queen to d3 though. He went queen to d3, defending the f3 square.
And Anish is holding his rook. He comes in. He's actually playing on the dark squares. If you see, Anish has a hold on dark squares. Magnus has a hold on light squares because of his pawns.
Yes, king g3 played now, and here we go. Rook is moving. He's touching it. Rook f6. Defend everything.
Just playing it on dark squares.
Yes, the dark square strategy is what they call this. He's also threatening bishop f2 if you're not careful. Bishop f2 check is devastating.
Yeah, this is looking quite interesting. In fact, at some point, right now I feel Magnus is still trying for a win. But at some point, I believe that he might have to be careful and look at the win probability meter there. 55% to Magnus, 45% to Anish.
By the way, look at the time for Magnus. Magnus is starting to feel the heat a little bit.
3 minutes 38 seconds. We'll come back to this game very quickly, but we have to catch the board number 2 action between